Trust. You and I are both big believers in forging trust with people on LinkedIn, and that, whatever you're looking to achieve on LinkedIn is more likely to happen if you're able to build up that trust with people in advance. So what would be some of your tips? What are some of the things that you do to try and help develop more trust with new contacts or with weaker existing contacts? Any ideas you can share with people?
Yeah, so I have several go-to tips around building trust. I mean, one is like the consistency and showing up, and that's why I talked about those two examples that I had. Seeing me regularly doing something is a way to build trust, because consistency helps people to get to know you, and then they see that you're committed and you're dedicated to a certain initiative, and that builds trust in itself. I think the other thing is staying professional. I think people that are on LinkedIn come to LinkedIn for a different experience, and that's one thing that I have maintained. I do allow people into getting to know me on a personal basis, but not so much that it doesn't stay within the professional realm of what I want to accomplish on LinkedIn. I don't go off into anything that is off the path of still being professional and staying true to my expertise in craft. I think when we go off of that path a little bit, we lose some of that trust that's been built up. I know that some people have chosen to go more in that direction, but I stay true, and I really believe that that's an important part of building trust. Second thing is that, again, that whole giving idea, and how can we give on LinkedIn? We tend to, we live in that fast-paced society where we go on LinkedIn and we hit a like or a love without realizing that we're too much in love with like, right? So what we have to do is kind of go beyond that. What can we do to actually serve somebody on LinkedIn and work with the algorithm? So like is at the bottom for me. And so what can we do to kind of up the ante on that? Because like doesn't build trust. Like is just something, it kind of is like something quick to do. It doesn't mean that it doesn't support somebody. But when we actually write a comment of 5 words or more, or we repost and we actually get the discussion going, that builds trust, because we're building on somebody else's idea and we're creating discussion, which is part of networking. So I think being able to do things like going beyond what we do, what we're so quick to do, and really thinking about how we can build on discussion so that the people that we're engaging with are getting recognition from the LinkedIn algorithm too. The algorithm is picking up that their post is worthy and the work that they've put in is worthwhile for the LinkedIn algorithm. So, I mean, nobody likes the algorithm, but it's there and it exists, and that's how LinkedIn is powered. So we're best to kind of work with it than work against it. I also think that when digging into people's activity and their stories, so often we'll go about connecting with people. We just decide we're going to connect with people without really taking a look at their profiles, their activity, and sensing what we can write in the connection request to really connect with somebody, to show that person that we understand their content, that we're excited about their content, that we maybe have a number of connections in common, that we maybe went to the same school, that we enjoyed a post that somebody wrote. Like, what is it that we can, I really believe a connection request should be a feel-good connection request. That person who's receiving that request on the other end should feel good about wanting to connect with you. So that is another thing that I really believe. It's better to have, to make 5 connection requests that you've really thought about than 20 buffet style where you're just putting out and sending something general and not really connecting with that person. So I never send a general connection request, and probably haven't for many, many years. And because I think that even as we go on in LinkedIn, trust is even wavering. So we have to do anything that we can to really build and show that we really want to connect with somebody and we have a reason behind it. You know, what is our why for wanting to connect with that person? And then I think just the way that we post or build our story on LinkedIn, how are we, what tone are we using? What words are we using? How are we connecting with the audience? So always keeping that audience in mind so that when we do write a post, it's projected in a way to connect with the audience. So I think that those are like my main ways of earning trust and building trust within the LinkedIn community.